Do you have lots of leftover eggnog? I've got a great recipe for you to try. It's an eggnog cheesecake with a praline topping. That's right. It's easy to make, and I'll take you through the steps and show you how to make the praline topping. I wanted to introduce you to this little ragamuffin. This is Ruby. Boy, oh boy, did we forget what it's like to raise a puppy. Ruby's a mini Bernedoodle. She will probably get to be about 30 pounds. Isn't that right, girl? So if you hear a few little squeaks in the background, just know it's Ruby. She's not hurt. She's actually wanting me to play with her.
Let's start by making the graham cracker crust. Mix in some sugar and stir it up and melted butter. And that way you'll get a nice firm graham cracker crust bottom to your cheesecake. We're using a springform pan, so I always like to make sure the bottom is lined with parchment paper. And just spread the graham cracker crumb mixture and press it in and make sure it gets to the sides. Now you'll see the bottom of the pan has been covered with aluminum foil, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a few minutes. That's perfect. Now let's bake in a preheated oven, 325 Fahrenheit, for 10 minutes. We'll start off with mixing the cream cheese and sugar and a little bit of flour. And I like to use a stand mixer. So just on slow, then we add in the eggs, pour in the eggnog, and then just beat it slowly until it's really rich and creamy. And right at the end, let's pour in that delicious rum and just a few shakes of nutmeg. Just like a regular eggnog drink. That looks perfect. It's so smooth and creamy. Now we'll pour it into the springform pan. And we're going to bake the cheesecake using a bain-marie. That's when you put your springform pan into a roasting pan, put some water in the bottom of the pan, and then put it in the oven to bake. It's an extra step, but it's the creamiest cheesecake you'll ever eat. Bake at 425 for 10 minutes, then reduce the heat and bake at 250 for 45 minutes. Now, while your cheesecake is baking, let's make that yummy caramel pecan topping. I call it praline because it's just so amazing. I like to roast the pecans just a little bit in the saute pan and then add a half a cup of butter and melt that completely. And once it's completely melted, we're going to add another little splash of rum and a touch of eggnog, just to keep that delicious eggnog flavor. And the final step is to add a full cup of brown sugar. It smells amazing, honestly. And just blend it all up. And you can see once it starts to bubble and cook, that it's almost like you're making fudge. And at the end, when we put this on the cheesecake, you'll see that that's exactly what it looks like, a fudge praline topping. And just let it bubble away for about 5 minutes. That's plenty. And remove it from the heat. Okay, now that that beautiful eggnog cheesecake is on your favorite cake plate, let's top it with that pecan, caramel, praline, fudge, whatever you want to call it, topping. And I make sure there's a really thick layer because you want to share all that goodness. And you can see how it's firmed up and it looks kind of like fudge. At least I think it does. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? Now, I like to let the cheesecake with the topping chill. So you could put it in your refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours or even overnight. that would be fine too. So let's get ready to cut a generous slice of this amazing eggnog cheesecake. Oh, we got a little bit falling off the edges, but that's okay. You can just push it back on and get ready to serve a delicious slice. Wow. See how creamy and smooth it is? And that's because we used that bain-marie or water bath method to bake the cheesecake. It really is worth the extra steps. Okay, now let's get this cheesecake onto a plate. One more close-up. So there you go, the perfect holiday treat. And it's a pretty generous dessert as well. I think it makes about 8 or 10 slices, depending on how big you cut the cheesecake. And let's do that taste test. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. And if these are recipes that you enjoy and would like to see more of, I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel. But we're not finished baking. Make sure you check out this next recipe. Happy baking.